You know, having some Magswitches would sure be nice for woodworking. They are made for table saws and all sorts of woodworking jigs. But when I get thinking about it, I have something already that will take care of most of the things that I might do with a Magswitch without spending a lot of money. Stick around and we can figure out some very good alternatives to high-priced magnets, and in the meantime, save a few dollars in the bargain. I'm Scott Bain. They call me the old farmer. I think most of us would like to have a couple of Magswitches sitting on the table saw. It's a great product. But with inflation making our monopoly money worth less almost by the minute, we need to take a look at ways of doing things without spending a lot of money. Maybe you have something in a different part of the shop that might work. What am I talking about? Welding magnets. You know, those big things that hold 2 or 3 pieces of metal together as you do a tack weld. These are the magnets I have. One, a 4-piece set that I got from Tractor Supply. I got them from the bargain bin up front where they randomly show up and is not carried on the inventory lists. That means you can't find them online or in the store unless they're in the discount bins when they happen to show up. They are branded as Tractor Supply brand. I don't remember the price, but it wasn't much, less than $10 for the set. One of the many times at Harbor Freight I picked up a single welding magnet. It was probably when good old Harbor Freight had a 30% off sale. When I compare the Tractor Supply magnet of the similar size to the Harbor Freight magnet, the Tractor Supply magnet seems to be twice as powerful. Even though the Harbor Freight magnet was weaker, it appears to be able to do the job. First, I used a single magnet as a pre-blade guide, something along the lines of a featherboard. Next, I tried making a multi-magnet brace that will keep the wood against the rip fence. I had to disassemble the jig in order to move it around on the table saw. These magnets have a pretty good grip. Be careful that you don't give yourself a blood blister by getting some hide caught between a magnet and the tabletop. I might try making jigs later, but for now, I want to see how well it works if I lay the magnets out as a secondary guide, something like an equivalent of a secondary rip fence, keeping the wood slightly against the rip fence, but without forcing the wood so that it would be pinching the saw blade. This is important. I have about a 32nd of an inch space between the wood and the magnet, but it's close enough to keep the piece going straight without twisting. If you're trying this approach, be very careful not to apply any force that would pinch the blade or skew the wood. Just to be safe, stand to the side of the workpiece, so if there is a kickback, it won't hit you. Next, I wanted to see how it worked as a stop block for cutting equal-sized pieces of wood. I think most of the time it worked fine as a stop block or a rip stop. In some ways, these magnets are more flexible than a Magswitch, but I can see how each has specific advantages because they are designed to do different things. Just a reminder, the best piece of safety gear is between your ears, and it isn't your mouth. It's your very own brain. Think the process through before actually doing it. Always assume the worst will happen. That way, if it turns out the way you planned, you can be pleasantly surprised, rather than rudely awakened because you suddenly realize it's time to visit the hospital and you cannot find all of you. Stay focused, even if you're listening to a book or some music, or have someone visiting in the shop. If you're making jigs, think it through and make sure that the spinning parts don't make contact with any of the magnets. If you got a suggestion for using these magnets that I haven't mentioned, leave a comment and help all of us. These welding magnets can be a very good addition to the table saw at a very affordable price, if used with caution and you plan things out carefully. Well, this is the old farmer Scott Bain. Be well. Be safe.
Don't forget to click like and click subscribe on the Old Farmer YouTube channel, and thanks again for watching. Bye.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.